All right. Meanwhile, Dan Bongino's here, former NYPD guy and former Secret Service agent and host of the Dan Bongino Fund on a show on the CRTV. So, Dan, what a week. You talk about even a weekend, I would say, between Friday the taxes and then between Friday the Flynn deal. How much trouble is the president in?
You know, he's in a lot of trouble, but he's in a lot of trouble for not so obvious reasons. I don't think the president did anything wrong, but he's in a lot of trouble because he's been subjected to the most disingenuous, dishonest, disgusting, and disturbing political witch hunt in American history. Think about how this entire thing's been set up. You know, Byron York has a killer piece in the Washington Examiner today about the Logan Act. This started with the Logan Act.
Never before prosecuted.
Brian, the federal equivalent of jaywalking. Like, if someone said, hey, Ducey got arrested out front for jaywalking, everybody on the set would be astonished. Well, why? It's against the law. Because no one's ever been prosecuted for that in New York. Well, but at the federal level, Logan Act, never before, and that started this entire thing. This is a witch hunt, nothing more.
The big headline, though, for a lot of people is, you know, we'd heard that Robert Mueller had a bunch of Democrats, lawyer, investigators on his team. Now, as it turns out, one of the top investigators at the FBI, who was involved in the Hillary Clinton email server and then the Russian collusion case, is a Trump hater. He was exchanging anti-Trump, pro-Hillary texts with his girlfriend who worked at the FBI.
And Steve, if you read some of the reporting, I think it was James Rosen who wrote the piece at Fox News, which I covered extensively. There are sources in the FBI who were deeply troubled by this, who said, hey, there's documentary evidence that this guy's been involved in everything. Think about this. If this entire thing was due to a guy at the management level of the FBI who somehow may have gotten hold of this dossier and used this as a pretext to investigate the president of the United States on false charges, using the the investigative arm of government. I mean, what are we in, a third world republic right now?
That's deep state there.
That's real. And it's funny, they all laughed at us for saying deep state stuff, and it looks like it's real.
But will this undermine, I mean, are they going to go back and look at the Hillary Clinton investigation? Does this undermine the Mueller investigation on Flynn, on Trump? I mean, what do we got here?
You know, Rachel, I don't understand how this Mueller investigation at this point has any credibility left. I mean, where's the scheme? You know, Andy McCarthy, someone who's been doing great work at National Review. He writes this great piece where he says, where's the scheme? Show me the money. Like, where's the beef? You got, so far we've had three investigations. We've got two fibbers. You got Flynn and you got Papadopoulos arrested for fibbing, a charge in my experience as a federal agent.
Well, you can't lie to the FBI.
No, you can't. It's unquestionably a crime, Steve, but you can't jaywalk either. The point is that, are you using it because it was really a crime of national interest, or were you using it to shake down Flynn, which I believe is what happened?
Which is Papadopoulos, too. It's like, I got you on this. I'm going to prosecute you on this unless you start maybe wearing a wire and go talking to these people. So could I tell me if this is oversimplification? There's collusion that people are supposed to be looking into when he was a candidate. What Flynn is talking about and what people are talking about is the period of time when he won the election up until he got the job.
That's the Brian Ross story.
That's the Brian Ross. So what happened in that gap is different from looking into what happened in August and September. And nothing has come up in August, September, October, and November that shows the Russians will work with the Trump campaign to win or tilt an election, right? We're just talking about that period in between.
You know, I don't mean to make light of this, but the hysterics around this case are incredible. Russian collusion to win and alter an American election was the entire premise of the Democrats thing. Now all they have is that there was this alleged collusion after they won how do you collude to win an election after you won the election?
Right.
I mean, this is insanity.
And the Obama administration, they saw no problem, didn't put any sanctions on until after the election on Russia, then says it's the equivalent of a 9/11. Really? That equivalent that you knew about in September did nothing for 4 months?
Brian, Mark Toner, the Department of State spokesperson for Obama, is on tape. Like, you guys, ladies, you can go watch this yourself, is actually on tape saying, yeah, you know, we know Flynn's meeting with them. That's their business. They're the transition team. That's what they do. And now all of a sudden it's the biggest crime in U.S. history? I mean, this is insane.
And what Mike Flynn did is say, listen, did you talk to Russia? He said no. And it turns out, well, we got you on our wiretap. So it was a mistake.
A huge mistake.
But basically, if he said yes, it's no problem. So there was no reason for him to lie.
There wasn't.
Because what happens is, a lot of times, if you're not doing anything wrong, and someone asks you, and you say to yourself, no one's going to believe that I'm not doing anything wrong, so I'm just going to say that.
Yeah.
And also, there was a theory out there that Mike Flynn didn't even remember because he was on vacation at the time when he allegedly had this call.
You know, I feel for Flynn. I do. I was a federal agent. And again, I'm not saying you're right, Steve. 1001, lying to a federal FBI agent is a crime. No doubt about that.
And he was a little shady with the dealings with Turkey and all that. So, I mean, let's be honest.
Should have disclosure. I'll bet if he could go back and do things differently, he would. The only point I'm trying to make is my experience as a federal agent. I have never seen a serious crime charged with, 1001. You only charge 1001 lying to the FBI when you literally have absolutely nothing else to do.
And so what does that tell you?
That tells you they have nothing. Someone said to me on a debate on Judge Janine this week, and Chris Hanna was debating him. He goes, this is the tip of the iceberg. Okay, we've been hearing that for a year. Where's the iceberg?
Well,
Where's the iceberg?
You know, the theory is because he only got 5 months. And they said for him to get that sweet a deal, he's got to have promised something else.
All right, Brian, everything else is leaked, including the fact that Trump wears pajamas watching Fox and Friends. No, Google that. That's actually leaked. I'm not kidding. Everything's leaked, including his attire in the morning.
Well, that's a violation.
There's a crime.
That's a violation of my act because I say get
Kill
dressed
Meat
every day.
Act? Is that the Kill Meat Act?
Yeah, it's a Kill Meat Act.
But the Kill Meat Act is about as serious as the Logan Act, which is not serious at all. So.
I had no idea. All right, Dan, eye-opening appearance today on Fox and Friends.
Well, thank you. I hope so.
Good job.
Wink it or not. Thanks.
All right, 20 minutes down before the top of the hour, and Jillian's got some other headlines.
That's right. Good morning, guys. And I'm sorry I took the cookies, but I'm not really that sorry. They were so good.